Parma Violence are here to shake up the alt scene with an unapologetic energy and fresh sound. My guests today on the DJ Force X podcast are Marianna Tiana and Benji Yapp. From the band Parma Violence. This band bring grit, passion, and a voice determined to claim a space in the alternative scene. They have a new single out right now. It's called Saline, and it's out on all the streaming services, and they're ready to make an impact here in the already fertile UK scene. Let's welcome Parma Violence. Welcome, guys.
Hey man, hi. How's it going?
So, I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Well, like I said in the intro there, we're sort of new band, fresh sound. Obviously you got Marianna, vocalist, and you got Benji on guitar. But what I want to find out from you guys before we sort of get into sort of talking about the music and all that kind of stuff. Oh, this is kind of talking about the music, but I want to get a bit of an origin story of the band, like how you got together, and like, you know, your background and all that kind of stuff. Don't have to go all the way back to, like, you know, when your parents met and all that kind of stuff. Just talking musical journeys here. But yeah, what is the origin story of Parma Violence?
I think I'll start here. So Sean and I work together for an artist management company, and we were over in America in Atlanta working on the last shows for the band Issues, and we were watching them do their last ever shows, and we were like, we really, really want to do this. Sean's previously been in bands. I've never done a music project before.
Okay.
And one of Sean's previous bands was with Benji in a band called Goldblum. They did pop punk, but we really wanted to do something that was more, I don't know, we wanted to do something that was versatile, that was reminiscent of all of the bands we enjoy, but something that could be a little bit heavier than what they had previously done in their previous projects. And as for my background personally, I've never pursued any actual live music projects. I've worked in music venues as a promoter. I've done show repping. I've worked in artist management, doing social media management, and I've toured doing merch. But this is the first time I've pursued doing music as the vocalist, and I've wanted to do it for a really long time. And I feel like now I'm finally taking the leap.
Excellent. What about yourself, Benji? What's your
Well, yeah, just kind of like as Marianna said. So I from like the age of like 18, pretty much, I've just been sort of like I don't know, just making my own way, trying to do little pop. Like I was in a couple of pop punk bands, and eventually I met Sean, the bassist. He asked me to sing in his band at the time, so that's how I met him. We did that for a couple of years, and then sort of as that was starting to fizzle out, yeah, he just sort of mentioned this idea of like, he's like, oh, you know, I'm thinking of I'm you know, sort of starting to write these songs with you know, with this girl I work with, you know, like, and like, you know, you want to, you know, like initially it was just sort of like helping to write the tunes initially, and then it sort of turned into like, well, you know, we need a guitarist. Like, I'm like, go on, then snap my arm off. Why don't you? Like, yeah, easiest decision ever. Like, so good, so talented, the both of them.
No, that's amazing. I love that. Like personally, like I can totally kind of align in some ways. I used to put on shows back in the day. I used to write for I had my own very early web fanzine in like the early 90s, like one of the first web fanzines. And I put on shows locally, bought a national act, stuff like that into it. And yeah, at one point I just suddenly got like, I really want to do this. And then ended up joining a band. And the rest was, you know, kind of there for a bit. For about 10 years, I did that, and it was fun, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, like jumping from one area of the industry, like going from like the journalistic side and the promotion side for myself, it's a different thing. Even though you watch it and you're like, you get this just real need to do stuff, like just to perform on that front.
Oh yeah, it's one of them that you're watching and you're just like, I want to be up there. I want to be doing that. Like, that looks fun.
Yeah,
100%.
And it's like, you know, and it's knowing the work that goes into it as well, like, or now knowing the work that goes into it, because
absolutely,
like you fall into sort of stuff like this. And obviously, I mean, with yourself, Marianna, did you know you had a voice like at that point? Because you said you had no like doing like live stuff, but did you have that? Did you know you could like?
Great question.
Did you know you could sing?
Yeah, always sang throughout school. I did performances, but I guess my downfall is that I have a bit of stage fright. I've always been really, really scared to sing in front of people. But where I've worked on tours and I've had to like jump on stage and just do the silliest things in front of the most amount of people, I'm kind of like, well, if I can stand on a stage and look at these people, it's just one more step to sing.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, I just feel like where I've worked with bands and gotten to know them, I'm like, they're not these like people that we big them up to be in our heads. They're just like me, they're just like you.
Yeah.
So it's not this huge, massive thing that I can't do. It like slowly, I'm getting there in terms of confidence. Like I was so scared when it came to recording these songs in the studio, and now like we go in and it's just like it's natural now. So I feel that way in terms of approaching playing live shows.
Nice. That's really cool. It's sort of, you know, I can align with you on stage fright as well. There is that. I always get nervous before I do anything like that these days. Even now, I'm decades into what I do. Even doing this, I get nervous. Even I'm just sat here in my little dungeon and chatting to like guys like you. But it's kind of like, you know, I've had various levels of artists on this show, like from huge arena sellings, almost stadium now, to like new bands like yourself, like and the nerves are the same because I do trip over my words. I stutter a lot. I know I do all that. I've done enough of this now, and I've kind of getting to that point of kind of caring but not caring, if that makes sense. And it's the
Yeah,
same
I'm
getting
just
up on stage. Yeah, and like I DJ on a regular basis, so I do perform in front of people. Sometimes I can hide behind the decks and kind of hide behind the DJ and and hide, but sometimes I've got to grab the microphone and, like you say, do silly things in front of as many people as there are.
And I think one of the things you have to ask yourself is, am I more scared of never doing it or am I more scared of doing it?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what's made me do all of the things that I'm currently pursuing.
That is definite
Mm.
a definite like motto to live by in that respect. It's like is that right? I'd rather regret doing it than not doing it. And it's like I've kind of lived my life, a lot big portions of my life along that line. I keep talking about myself here. It's really bad.
You're
My
good, man.
listeners have
You're good.
heard all this stuff before, so it's like, anyway, let's talk about you guys. Let's get into the single you just released. You just released Saline, which is a fantastic track. It's the one that kind of caught my ear when your people sent it my way. But let's find out a bit about that track. So what is that track about, and what's your sort of like story behind that one?
Saline is a tribute to like toxic cycles in relationships, and we really wanted to go into things that people could relate to. Maybe it isn't a toxic relationship, maybe it's a relationship with a parent or a friendship that's like in these toxic cycles, but these people make you feel like you're literally drowning in whatever negativity they're bringing to your life. And I just wanted to be able to verbalize that
Yeah,
and also give somebody an outlet to listen to feel that emotion, you know?
fantastic. Yeah, no, you can definitely sort of feel that in the track. And it's not the first track you guys have released, actually. In fact, we should talk about some of the others as well, because there's four others that people can listen to. So there's not just one track out there, people. In fact, go listen to it now. Anyone who's watching this or listening to this, stop this. If you're on Spotify, especially, go find it. Um, but I will tag it in the show notes and all that kind of stuff. But there's four other singles out there. You've got Collide. I don't know if this is the right order. Collide, Neurosis, Lovesick, and Marrow.
Yeah, that's the correct order as
The
well.
Yeah,
correct one.
perfect.
Oh, see, my list taking is great. Um, but what are you sort of like? Obviously, you've done these tracks, and I know there's one due out in January as well, which I have heard, but I won't. We can't talk about it because no one else would have heard it till January. It's a good track, by the way. It's well looking forward to. Um, just as a teaser for everyone. But like with the sort of like single releases that you've done so far, what is the plan? Is there like was it? I don't know if you plan this out in as much as you're just releasing singles, or will it lead to an album, or is it something you're releasing these singles then maybe not just like compiling these songs onto one album, or maybe I don't know what your writing process is like, but what are the sort of like the plans for your music at the moment? Because obviously you are new to us, and it's a big question because it's like you're not making a commitment to it. By the way, I won't. If you suddenly change your mind and say, actually, no, I want to do like a 3 disc album, and all that kind of stuff. But no, what is the plan with it? Because like I've spoken to bands that do the singles and then maybe throw an EP out there or an album, or they just keep just singles, or it's sort of leading up to, like I say, an album or something. Is there a plan in place at the moment, or is it you're just trying to build that following?
I think it's the latter. We are trying to build that following. We started this process going into the studio wanting to write an EP, 6 tracks,
Okay.
and just to release 3 singles and then EP. But as we were going through releasing the songs, we were like, I feel like every song deserves that one moment. And I feel like in this day and age of releasing music, you're if you don't have that fan base there, and if you're not putting those tracks out to advertise to people and gain fans on social media, there's really no point in putting it out at all because there is no reach
Yeah.
just through putting it out on distro.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I see the sort of merit in it. Like I say, I've spoken to many artists over the years that there was one label that purely adopted releasing something every week off their roster, be
Yeah.
it like even just like remixes or anything like that. But having that consistency with releasing to keep that because the attention span of everyone at the moment is it's not desirable. Let's put it that way. I don't want to knock anyone because everyone's affected by it, and we know what's caused it, but no one's doing anything about it. Um, but it's the way you sort of, I guess, play the game, play the algorithm, whatever you want to call it. And doing that is a very good strategy to sort of keep that consistency going. And with that, and obviously you're shooting music videos as well to accompany that and giving them the proper sort of, like I say, light of day, giving them that moment.
And I feel like everybody loves something different about the songs, and every song is different and showcasing a different aspect or sound from the band. And we're appealing to different people and gaining fans who maybe wouldn't be crazy about Collide but love Neurosis, and then fans who are more into pop so love Collide, or somebody who wants something more melodic and slow so they like.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I say Neurosis, actually saying that Neurosis is one of my favorite tracks. Those ones. But I do like them all. It's been great to sort of go back and sort of discover that, well, not discover, yeah, discover those. Because I heard Saline and I sort of went and looked to find others on there. And then I was like, yeah, let's get you guys on this show. So again, welcome to the show. But yeah, I mean, so obviously leading with that sort of like plans aspect of it. Now I know like we spoke beforehand and congratulations, you just had a baby. So this next question is very silly. Like, are you planning to tour or planning to like play live with this?
We are planning to play live. We have our first show in January. Is it in January, Benji?
It
I'm
is the 1st of February, so
oh,
you're not far off.
So close. So close. First
I
of
don't I don't know where I am. Okay.
that's all right. That's why we got Benji here. Keep us on track. um, I mean, where's that show? Has it been announced? I've not seen it anywhere, but then
It is. It is. Oh, see now I'm gonna. Do you know the name of the festival off the top of your head, Marianna?
We are one, and it's in Cardiff.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it was Cardiff. I could not remember the name.
It's a festival, and it's a pretty alternative lineup. Cassiette's playing, As Everything Unfolds playing, pretty heavy hitters
Yeah,
in.
some big names on there, to be fair.
Yeah, and it's our first show, so yeah, we're looking forward to it.
nice. What a way to jump in, especially with a lineup like that. I was just having a look here. Cassiette, Vukovi, former guests on this show, in fact. Love that band. Black Gold as well. I haven't had Black Gold on the show because they have masks and they don't want to do the interviews. But no, that's really cool. I'm just looking at the lineup now. So you guys are playing that. That is your first show.
Correct.
How does that kind of feel? Like you're playing on quite an illustrious lineup. I mean, Cassiette, Vukovi, both outstanding acts. In fact, that as everything unfolds as well, Black God. Yeah, yeah. How do you feel about that?
It feels like we're starting this as we mean to go on.
Yeah.
Um, like no band I know that has like just started that doesn't have like a helping hand. And like, yes, we have the advantage of like we have worked in the industry, but that's not how we got this. People have
Okay.
listened to songs and have been like, sick, I enjoy this. Would you like to play this show?
Nice. Well, that's always good to sort of point out because obviously, if you do have industry contacts, it's very like everyone's very quick to jump on that. Um, in that respect.
But if you're fit, nobody's going to turn around and be like, I want your band to play.
No, exactly.
It
That's the bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah. No, that is totally it. And from what I've heard as well, you deserve the chance. And if they're
yeah.
willing to give that to you, then that's like, that is testament to what you've done already. And it's not about like this is one thing I've always maintained in music, like not like I mean it does kind of boil down to it sometimes with people say it's kind of very saying so defeatist now, but it's not about the following you have like online. It's not about the numbers. It's not about that. It's like there is a talent aspect to this, and because you can have someone with it's very easy to go out and buy followers and
Mhm.
buy those likes, but it's very like I get emails every day from random places saying you could increase your Instagram followers by 10,000 for like $50. I'm like, no, because it's dead money, it's dead numbers, and I'm happy with my 2,000 people that follow me on Instagram, for instance.
Yeah.
But I don't put out content every day. I don't do that. I play the game to a certain degree. I know sort of I was a web designer for many years when before I was in bands and stuff. So I've kind of worked in the tech side of things. I work in tech now, in fact. But yeah, it's not about that. There's that talent aspect, and that's how I get like my gigs, my DJ gigs. It's not out of like I was once in whatever, or I've got like 20,000, whatever. It's literally I've heard him. I know what he does. He entertains people. That's what you need, and that's what you get from being in a band. Like you hear your music, and you're like, I want to hear that live, and that's what's happened here. And to get on a festival like that with that kind of lineup is great, and I hope it goes off for you. I won't be there, unfortunately. I'm not that near to Cardiff. Um, but if I could be there, I would be. Because I'm trying to get to more shows, especially next year. I'm trying to do more because I get a lot of press invites, as one does. And I want to kind of utilize that a little bit more and do some more in that sort of side of things. But no, that is fantastic. And are there any other plans like you've got kind of penciled in for the next in 2026, or is it you're just sort of like seeing more as the music comes out, building that, and then seeing what opportunities come up for you?
We're definitely in talks behind the scenes. Nothing set in stone just yet, just because, the year is coming and I feel like supports are always the last people to be penciled in
Yes.
on things. And, we've had promoters reach out for us to play like local shows, but we are genuinely dotted all around the UK. Benji is where do you live, Benji? Because I don't even
I'm in the West Midlands. I'm like near Kidderminster-ish.
Okay.
and I'm in Luton, Sean's in Liverpool. So we are genuinely dotted about the place. So
All right,
for
so you are UK based, but all over kind of England-ish, I would say,
Yeah.
at this
That's
point.
it.
But so I mean, how like it's silly to say how that works because I know how it works. These days, it's a lot easier to make it work. In that
Exactly like
respect.
this, like what
Yeah,
we're doing right
exactly
now,
like this.
like that.
Such a silly line of question. But yeah, no, that's like sort of knowing that and obviously getting you guys together to play shows. That's a small challenge in itself. But if you do have something, then like you can obviously organize your practices and all that kind of stuff as long as you sort of stay in in tune, that kind of stuff. Keep your guitar in tune, if that works for you. I don't know. um,
Typically.
yeah, so obviously next year, like you say, you've got some talks going on in the background. Hopefully you'll be able to like jump on a tour or two and get a couple of shows here and there and all that kind of stuff. So if you ever come down, where am I? I'm in Surrey, so specifically Camberley, so it's kind of near. There's a couple of good venues actually. Guildford, if you ever hit Guildford, there's a venue called the Boiler Room, which is very good. It's on the independent music venue circuit and everything like that. It's one of the highly thought of ones in that bracket as well. And there's another one called The Star as well, which is very good. And that's all. That's just me being local to there. But I do travel to London because I'm near London, or I travel to the South Coast. So I'm going to keep an eye out for you because I do want to see you guys live on that respect. Like I said, I'm trying to get some more live shows, especially with my guests on this show. I feel really awkward sometimes because I keep missing people. Like they're playing, they do end up playing near me and I'm working or something, and it's just like that happened yesterday, in fact. But anyway, I've got a couple of questions left for you guys, and I'll let you get back to your evening and everything. But I'm going to give Benji a chance to talk here because he's looking bored.
No, I'm not. I'm just listening to you, man. I'm enjoying the pod honestly right now.
Oh, no, it's fine.
I'm enjoying it in real time.
That's all right. So what I want to find out, so this is going to go out to both of you, but it gives one of you is going to have a time to think about it, or you can do it one after each other. It's fine. But what I want to find out, 3 records in your life, pivotal records. Now, I'm not talking top 3 records of all time. So not like, best of the Beatles, best of ABBA, best of Metallica, anything like that. I'm talking about when you were younger, you heard a song. It could be on the radio, it could be on TV, it could be in the car, it could be your parents played it, something like that. And you were like, oh, what's that? I want to do this. I want to play guitar. I want to sing. I want to be in music, or I want to find out more about this style of music. Or something along those lines. They can be albums, they can be singles, but if you can pinpoint 3, that would be great.
Mm-hmm. Benji, do you want to go first? I've got to think about this one.
Yeah, I can. I remember so vividly when I was in like year 6 in school. Like one of my friends kind of coming up to me and be like, because we just kind of gotten into LimeWire, if you remember LimeWire.
I remember LimeWire.
And we were just kind of like, and we just give each other like song suggestions and stuff. And one day, like my pal Mikey come up to me and he was like, Benji, you gotta go home. You gotta when you get home, you gotta go on LimeWire. Blink-182, First Date, like trust me. And I was like, okay, but like instantly I was like, oh my gosh, like yes, like whiny little nasally voice, like super fast, like yes, this is all me. This is that one big time. I was like, this is what I like. This is exactly the kind of stupid music I like. Nice. As for the other 2, I'm going to pass on to Marianna for the minute because but that's definitely my number 1 of being like, ooh, pop punk.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so the first one for me would be the album from Pierce the Veil, Collide with the Sky.
Nice.
Pierce the Veil, when I was with a friend and she was searching for YouTube on one of her playlists, popped on this rock band. At this point, I had never listened to rock music. I must have been around 13. And she's popped this band on, and I was like, who is this woman? And she sings really great. And this. I was like scared of it at first. And then I found myself searching for it and being like, what was that song again? And then it really, really grew on me. And then I would listen to what was suggested up next. So then it would be Bring Me the Horizon. And I think the song that would come up the most for me was Happy Song. And
okay.
I was like, what's this song? It's got a chant. And those were the bands that really introduced me into rock music. And I think my third would be Lower Than Atlantis.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the album, but I love all of their albums, but they were the first ever band I saw live when I was 17. Nice. In Watford at the Coliseum. And yeah, that was monumental for me, seeing a band live. I was like, wow, all these people, their instruments, like the energy. I'd never seen that many people in a room before. And yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, those are all like solid choices. We'll get back to you in a moment, Benji.
I'm sweating over it.
That's all right. But Pierce the Veil, I've become a fan of theirs over recent years, mainly because of my kid. She wanted to go see them at Ali Pali a few years ago, and so I took her. I don't like that venue, but getting to that venue anyway, it's a bit of a hill. But yeah, no, I saw them live there. I'd heard King for a Day, sorry, because that was like in the clubs and everything like that. It's like their biggest song, but like watching them live and hearing them live, absolutely fantastic. And I saw them a couple of months ago at Wembley as well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, fantastic band. Like they did their sort of like 5-album era show, and yeah, great band. I can't like fault them at this point. And you're right, his voice, it does sound like, like it's from a female in some that high pitch.
It's got a phenomenal range, and I just remember hearing it being like, I wish I could do that. Like, I want to do that. And
No,
those were like the first collection of songs that I listened to, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and scream. I don't know how to do this, and it took me years and years and years to be like, oh, there's a bit of a grit there.
yeah, yeah.
But very inspiring band, and yeah, my former hardcore fangirl days.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And Bring With Your Eyes and Happy Song, in fact, is one of their great songs. Like you say, it's got that chant, it's got that thing, and it was great because I know I mentioned this before, but I mention this every damn episode. But I used to live in the States, and on rock radio there, Happy Song is on rotate or was on rotation on the rock stations, which is like it was really weird for me because I was living over there for quite a while, and I hear occasional British bands like Muse and Bush and all that kind of stuff, but never like Bring Me the Horizon. I was like, what? This was at their turning point of becoming the sort of like
Commercialized.
yeah astronomic like size that they are now. Because I remember them from being back in the day from being like deathcore essentially,
Yeah.
and I've played shows with them back in the day as well. And it was there, just screamy riffs, scream riff, scream riff, and that was it. And then they did this sort of like transition like it's kind of like Metallica what they did. It was the Black Album. It was their Black Album as well, with like I can't remember the name of the album now, but it was black with an umbrella on it. And
That's
yeah,
the spirit.
that's it. That's it. That's it. That's the spirit. And
No, I was just taking you on.
yeah, and that changed their trajectory. It really like blew them up like to a national audience at that point. I know they were doing well as a deathcore band, but obviously there's a certain level to that you can only hit, and they were touring a lot, like Australia, Europe, UK, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, Happy Song was that transitional period. That album, in fact, was that transitional.
Mhm.
Actually, Suicide Season as well, to be fair, that was probably, especially the remix versions of that as well. That was quite big in my sort of like circles. And yeah, Laura Atlantis as well. Yes, lovely band, great band. What a great band to see live as well.
Mhm.
But I've given you plenty of time now, Benji. You got
I'm gonna throw out. I can't honestly. I can't put it down to a single song or album, but like just the 1975, like as a bit of a rogue shout. I just they're just so all over the shop, and they're to me they've just shown that like doesn't matter what band you're in, doesn't matter what your genre is, like you can just put out a song that sounds like whatever you saw one. Like doesn't matter. You don't have to. There's no boxes to this stuff. Like
yeah.
it's one of them. Like if it's if it's of a quality, if it's of a standard, like just sort of trust your fans and they'll get into it sort of thing. Like it'll find the right people. Like I love that sort of just mindset of just yeah, like I said, no limits.
Yeah, no, that's always a good thing. Like especially in music, it's like you don't want to limit yourself. Like obviously, there are bands that specialize in certain genres, which is
Oh, of
fine.
course, 100%.
But it's also good to kind of deviate from it as well. I always found that when bands do that, especially when the fans backlash as well, like why have you done that? Why have you changed? And I always love when they change because it's like it's just showing their creative, like creative freedom, and they're writing what they want to write. They're not like
it's genuine, isn't it? At the very least, it's genuine.
because there are bands out there that will stick to a formula because it works,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine. That's their thing, but it can get a little monotonous. It can get a little boring. Like
100%.
one album can sound like the next album.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, with bands like 1975, I kind of dip in and out of those with my kids. Obviously, they have they're the more influence on that side of things because you guys are obviously younger than I am, being the old man here. But but yeah, like they sort of have more, and I do hear it because they play it in the house and stuff like that. So I can like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's that band. And then hear something different. It's still the same band. You're like, oh, cool. They do deviate, which is nice. But you got one more, Benji. What's your third?
God damn it, man! I thought you were going to forget or something.
Oh no. Oh.
Let's throw out A Little Piece of Heaven by Avenged Sevenfold. That's
Okay.
I think that's another weird one, but I love the theater, the storytelling of that song, and the length as well. I'm pretty sure they made it a single as well back then. It had a 8-minute long music video. Yeah, like that's just creatively like very inspiring to me. 100%.
Yeah, no, definitely. Avenged Sevenfold, they're exactly the band that will deviate. Like they like a lot of their early albums was very, very metallic, very metal, kind of
Mm.
things. And then obviously tragically lost their drummer. And then for that next album, it was Nightmare. I think it was the one that came out after that.
That's
And
it.
they took a more four to the floor kind of like stance on their music. So it was very Metallica-esque. Don't get me wrong. Again, Metallica reference. So it's mad. But that album really, that like as soon as I heard that album, I was like, right, they're now festival headliners. And that's exactly what happened. Like about a year after that, they were headlining Download. They had obviously the headlining various things, but that album just got them to that level. And then they've kind of gone like again, they've like entered that, like you say, theatrical kind of element to it, which they
Oh,
kind
they're
of
like froggy and stuff nowadays. Yeah, man.
yeah.
It's
And
like
it's kind of
techie.
like I mean that's why I love that when bands do that. I mean Trivium did that as well. They kind of did that kind of like they were very I keep comparing them to bands, but they were very Machine Head like I would say. And then even Machine Head did this as well. They deviated. Oh, so many bands that do this.
Yeah.
um,
It's like in a loop.
I am. It's the same. Music always goes around. Kind of, you probably know this working in the industry, but it always comes back around. Like that genre, like new metal's come making its reappearance again, which I love. New metal is
Oh,
my
hell
thing.
yeah.
I still wear baggy trousers, the cap. I was the turntablist in a fucking new metal band, so that's how new metal I was. I was the epitome of new metal at one point, the most hated part of new metal as well. Um, but I lived through it, and I still scratch today,
Hell
which
yeah.
is also good. But yeah, it's like all that sort of stuff comes around again. But I love it when bands like they've hit that height and then they can just write what they want, and that's what I've always loved about certain bands in the past. They've kind of written like you listen to like classic bands like Zeppelin or Rush or anyone like that, and they're just writing what they and that's where you want to be as an artist. You want to be writing what you feel like writing, not having to worry about shifting units or getting streams or whatever the term is these days for it. But yeah, no, fantastic choices there. All six of those bands. Can't really find a fault with any of them, to be honest. And not that I would. I don't yuck people's yums. Um, but I've listened to all those bands and I've enjoyed all those bands. So that's fantastic. But last question for you guys before I let you go. What are your hobbies away from music? So we're not in the music industry. You're not obviously you're new to the band side of things, but hobbies. What hobbies do you have? What sort of things do you? I don't know. Do you read? Do you run? Do you play games? Do you movies? I don't know.
That is such a tricky question. I work in music. It's my hobby. Like, what do I do outside of music?
Yeah.
That is a good question. It's making me think I need a hobby.
I was just thinking, I was going to be like, well, like, okay, not music. Well, I've got my drum kit over here. I play on my drum kit. And then, like, but I'm like, no, that's music, you idiot. Like, but I'm not doing it for music work. I just do it because it's fun, like, but yeah, no, it's still music. I used to skate. I'm too old for that now.
I know, I feel that. Yep.
I went once this year and like felt heavy. Like that's how I could describe it. I was like, man,
I did the
bored,
same
man.
thing. I bought a skateboard about 10 years ago, I think it was, just at a random like yard sale. And I was like, oh, I used to be all right at this. So let's give it a go. As soon as I got on it, off, bang. I was like, my wife was like,
The young man's game.
yeah, yeah. I was like, I can do it. And she's like, no, 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 no. We can't have you injured. On that front. So I had to get rid of the skateboard. Only cost me like $3, so it was fine. But yes, I can totally feel that. It is a young man's game on there. But yeah, anything come to
I watch
mind?
a lot of football, honestly.
Football?
That's
Okay.
that was like I watch a lot of football. I watch a lot of cartoons and stuff. It
Okay.
doesn't get much more interested than that, to be
That's all
honest.
right. That works. Football can be a hobby. Watching it anyway. Playing it is the other. Again, it's
Yeah, again, young man's game once again.
but cartoons, I do enjoy a good cartoon. Or adult animation, I think they call them.
Yes, that's definitely what I mean.
So like South
Not of this.
Family
Yes,
Guy,
yes,
and all those random ones that seem to pop up on Netflix.
you got it.
But yeah, no, I love. Yeah, my wife's like, "Why are you watching cartoons?" Well, I just enjoy them.
What's wrong? What's wrong with watching
You're watching her
cartoons?
murder shows. I'm watching my cartoons. It works.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a laugh, don't you?
Exactly, exactly. Um, but yeah, Marianna, have you thought of anything like?
Honestly, I'm a mum now.
Okay,
mum music, like that takes up pretty much all of my time.
Yes.
I used to do martial arts and I did that for like 12, 13 years. And then my body just gave up on me. Like my knees are just in absolute bits.
Yeah.
So I don't do that anymore. Would love to return someday in the near future. God knows my body needs something like that now.
So it's a young person's game. All this stuff. It's the perils of getting old. I'm sorry. Your hair
Get to
goes
see it
grey,
again.
you lose some hair on top. And I say a lot, I've lost a lot. I keep a hat on just to cover it up. But the facial hair I tell my kids I grew so tall, I grew through my hair. So it came like my chin. And they believed that for so many years, but now they're teenagers and yeah, like, ugh, and all that kind of stuff. So those dad jokes don't work with them anymore. It was a good time though when it did. Um, anyway, Marianna, Benji, I thank you for your time today. Good luck with everything Parma Violence wise. I hope the new single is doing well for you. So Saline, everybody, is out now. You can hear it online on every streaming platform. But you guys are on Instagram, aren't you? Your Parma Violence band on Instagram and on Twitter. Is it Twitter or is it
I think we're on Facebook. I know
TikTok?
about Twitter.
Sorry, TikTok. You're on.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think we're on Facebook as well, but either way, TikTok's definitely the big one.
Yeah, so I'll say TikTok is the main one. Instagram's kind of behind that, and then Facebook. Yeah, I don't get much work on Facebook, um, even though it's owned by all the same company. But I get more traction on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, those are the main ones. People can find them on there. Like I say, it's at Parma Violence Band, and on TikTok it's Parma Violence UK. So people can find them on there, add them up, go stream their songs, let them know how good those songs are as well. But yeah, I can see you've got a lot of content on your TikTok feed, which is fantastic. I always like to see that. Trying to turn people onto that platform. It's been very difficult when I was in my previous role. Very like, no one wants to. And it turns out to be the biggest website in the world. I was like, I told you so. And I just walked away. But guys, thank you very much for your time. Like I say, good luck with everything. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you tonight. And yeah, have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, man. You too.